about the neuroscience?
It's back in the day, they didn't have the proof, but now these great institutions have proven how we can learn 300 times faster through music, affirmations, visualization, how potent that is. So looking at all the science, I was like, oh my God, I helped my friends when they were launching their mind movies, because they're Australian, the mind movies, my friends from Australia. And I said to them, well, this is brilliant, because I've been doing visualization and creating my own little mind movies. I'd get a camera and I'd put all these different visuals and have my voice giving myself instruction on what has happened in my life as if it's already happened. The house I live in now, I visualized it. You know, where I live, I didn't say where I was going to stipulate where I live, but I live in absolute peace and harmony on top of a beautiful mountain with nature everywhere. And I didn't say what country it was going to be in or anything. All those things that you visualize. And as I said, the neuroscience have proven it works 300 times faster, which is what ignited me to do the video book. Because I was like, we're going to use every tool that I've ever used and put it all in one product, so people can start manifesting stuff really fast.
That's what we want, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
Hi, y'all. It's Bridget Cutshaw with Real Things Living. Today, my guest is Michele Blood. She's an author. She was a successful Australian rock singer, and she is now a global transformational leader. Can you say hi, Michele?
Hi, Bridget. Hi, everybody. Lovely to be here today with you all.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time. And I love your energy and I love your story. Unfortunately, you had a bad situation, but you learned from it and you're trying to help others as well. My understanding is you were in a car accident. Did this happen in Australia?
Yes, it did.
Oh, gosh. So how many years ago did this happen?
89.
Oh, wow. So you
long time ago.
That's fine, but did it affect? My understanding is you were in the hospital for a really long time, for months and months.
Yes, I was.
And did it affect? Apparently, it did not affect your career. But you got back into singing, and I think that was probably a huge healing aspect.
Yeah, I mean, it took me on a brand new path in my career that I would never have even known about or dreamed about. So it's quite fascinating when something happens to us in our life. We can draw upon all the experience we had prior to that and bring it forth and create something new within ourselves, within our career, within our bodies. It's just it's a phenomenal thing that people don't understand when they're going through, like you went through cancer twice. It's like when you go through, especially something physical where your body needs to be healed, it is life-changing, and it can be the most positive thing that ever happened to you if you allow yourself to look at it that way.
I like that perspective. And in between the cancers, I had the rare primary brain tumor. And
oh my God.
Yeah. And it turns out they didn't know what to do with it. But I found a way. I listened to my body, said the right word, and I reached out to the people who were open, or I should say people, excuse me, doctors who were open to questions. And I found a way to get through it. Right. And that is, I'm not sure what kind of injuries you had in your accident. Let's jump back to you. What kind of injury did you have?
Well, we were driving home. It was a 12-hour ride from Brisbane to Sydney. Okay. And I was with the truck, not a car, a truck. And what happened was he fell asleep at the wheel just as we were entering Sydney after 12 and a half hours driving. And as the passenger, all the musical equipment and everything went into me when he hit a telephone pole. And he was fine, but it was sort of like I was the passenger the other way, sorry, for Australian. He's in the right-hand side because it's an Australian vehicle. Anyway, what happened was I had a fractured spine. My hip split. It just split, the hip bone, and the pelvis smashed into thousands of tiny bits of bone all throughout the body. So for them to be able to do what they did. One of the operations was nearly 18 hours long to get all the bits of bone out before they could even do anything like putting, steel plates and stuff into, So it was horrific. And the pain was so bad that I would just pass out every minute on the minute. I'd be alert for a little while, and I was in a steel plated bed in traction. If anyone's ever been in traction, you know how painful that is, for months in between different operations. So it was bad. It's amazing I survived. It's miraculous.
I think you probably wanted to sleep. Maybe your brain was telling you to sleeping would be able to deal with the pain better, maybe.
Yeah, when pain is that bad, and anyone who's had that sort of pain, you do pass out because you cannot manage it mentally. It's just too much. So the way the divine has worked with us, with all of us, we go unconscious whenever the pain is too bad. Yeah.
I've got chills. So when were you able to, at least it didn't affect your singing ability. So I'm assuming when you're in the hospital, you were listening to music when you were awake? I'm assuming.
No, I wasn't at all. No, I couldn't have a pillow or anything. So I was just in so much agony and so depressed, not knowing what was going to happen. And if I did survive the next operation, how would I be able to get up on that stage in front of thousands of people that I was used to doing every night of my life for years and years and years, and do music videos with all the dancing I would do and the jumping up on speakers and all the crazy antics I did as the lead singer. I just couldn't imagine not being able to be that sort of an entertainer again, because I was a rock singer, not some little
right. That'd be very entertaining too, right?
Yeah. And so so it was really challenging. But what happened to me, I'll just make this story really quick. What happened to me was people were putting on, I used to always have a little cassette player. If you can Google it, young ones, if you haven't heard of cassettes. I had a little cassette player that I always had a blank cassette in, Bridget, because whenever I got a songwriting idea, I wanted to make sure it stayed there. So I would sing it onto the little cassette player. So I had that there, and people were starting to put on what they thought were positive talks for me to listen to get me into a higher vibration, I guess. And I wasn't into metaphysics or mysticism. I believed in God. I always had. I actually had a good Catholic experience, believe it or not. I liked it a lot, but I hadn't been religious or anything since I was, a young teenager, say, for example. So listening to Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, that is the turning point for me, where I heard Napoleon Hill on this audio book talking about how his little baby infant son was born completely deaf. And he would go into the little boy's room every night and do affirmations, or what they used to call auto-suggestion, a positive statement that you say to yourself or to someone else as if it's already happened. So he would say, son, you are an absolutely amazing young man. You're an athlete. You can hear perfectly. Just, you grow up to be so successful. And something within me, you know what I mean, Bridget, when something within you, I think Oprah always calls it an aha, but now that I'm into mysticism so deeply, I know it's a satori. You don't logically understand why you know what you've just heard is true, but there's something in the marrow of your bone that that can work for me. So I did the affirmation. I wrote an affirmation in my head. I am healed, because I wasn't. I know I am. I didn't know I was. I love myself. I am my friend. So that was the perfect affirmation, because none of those things were true, but I wanted them to be true. So I was saying it over and over again, but it didn't work. And the reason it didn't work, Bridget, was because if you don't believe it, like Napoleon Hill said, you've got to emotionalize the auto-suggestion. Otherwise, it doesn't go into your subconscious mind. Now, interesting side note, that was written in the late 1920s, for about millionaire American men. Why would that change my life as a young Australian rock singer, female?
Right.
So, but what? Yeah, right. But what it did was I realized I'm never going to be able to emotionalize this because I don't believe it's true. I'm lying here in traction and I'm in horrific pain. But then I had my Satori, a real big one, epiphany, really. Sing it. So I asked people to go out and find affirmations to music, but there wasn't any such thing at that time. So I just asked them to just press record. I am healed. I know I am. I love myself. I am my friend. And I sang it over and over and over again. And I listened to it over and over again. And I didn't really understand what was happening. But what was happening was the lyric, the affirmation was going into the left side of my brain, the melody into the right side. Then it went straight into my subconscious mind. And so I started to believe it. I started having more positive outlook. I just knew every time the doctors, I know that you're going to make me well again and I'll walk perfectly. I just had a whole new attitude. It was completely 360 degrees within a week of listening to this over and over and over again. And that is how I started positive affirmation, music, songs. And I've got hundreds and hundreds of albums, and not albums, songs on
Right.
many, many different albums, including Self-Esteem for Kids. So that is how my trajectory literally changed. I ended up working all over the world, worked with Bob Proctor, running his business and my rock band and everything else from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, had hit records everywhere I went. I just couldn't do anything wrong. These affirmations, all these different titles and different lyrics and for different topics changed my life. I would get up on that stage working with Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer, all these different people, touring all over the world. And I would tell my story, and then I would have everyone in the room singing their magnet to money affirmations and their success affirmation songs, and bringing the whole energy of these huge big seminars to life like a little rock concert. So that's how it all happened.
I think that's awesome. You took those affirmations, but you took it and used it that you knew maybe some kind that was going to heal you because you were a singer. You had to have the melody, and everybody is different. Affirmations, like you said, are very popular, but you have to use it properly for it to work with you. I know some people who have affirmations just like notes all over their house, but some people say it to themselves. And this is the first time I've heard the music aspect of it. And I think it's really helpful. And it healed you. And you
Yeah.
have all these seminars. So you're now living in the United States, is my understanding.
Yes.
Good for you. No, I'm kidding. Well, and the culture here, we need to be more, as you know, our Western culture is a little different. They're more open to this affirmation and mysticism. Is that the right word now?
Yeah,
And
but I've got students from over 32 countries,
oh wow,
all
that's amazing.
doctors, dentists, musicians. I don't think it's a particular. I've worked in 26 countries, Bridget,
Okay.
and what I feel is, and when I was doing this, particularly with Bob Proctor, it was like I said, it's amazing because I didn't think people would be open to this. I said, I'd never really thought about it. And he said, but it's the soul, and it's true. It's the
Yes.
soul who hears the call, and they seek, without even knowing consciously, help from the divine or from, what you want to call your higher self. And
Right.
so they're attracted to go to a particular seminar or read a particular book. And back then, people didn't know what affirmations were or visualization. This is years before The Secret, before Rhonda's Secret came
Yes.
out. And so Bob and I mean, when we first did our new paradigms audiobook that we did together, and we did affirmation songs to go with each topic. Well, people were saying to us that are really well-known authors, don't call it new paradigms. No one in the world knows what that means. And Bob said, yeah, but after they see this, then they'll know what it means. And we'll have started a new word. So we used to create all these different new motivational words that people now use all over the world that had never used them before for metaphysics and positive thinking. So I always thank God, Bob left the body last year. I always thank God for all those years that I worked with him all over the world. And I find that people are open and receptive to something, even if they will never admit it to friends or family,
Right.
but secretly they're in a closet of mysticism.
It's very healing. I have to admit that for me as well. And I think my thing when I was having, I'm not a singer, but what I like to see the words, right? The affirmations. I'm because consider myself a writer. But one thing that word, I wanted to see words, and I have like the word hope um up on there in our family room by the television. It would light up. I just saw that. I mean, I just needed that word. You have hope. You're going to be here for your boys, your family. And I think some people, I'm just naturally, I think, built that way to be more positive. And, but at the same, I recognize you when you do have something bad happen, you have to recognize it. But then I believe in moving on. I'm sure that's what your, I should say theory, what your process is. You have to acknowledge and you have to move on, or look at the, should say move on, move forward. Is that a better word? And I love the idea of music. Music is so healing in general, whether it is rock or whether it is your affirmations. And we all have a different taste of the type of music we have. And my understanding is I shouldn't say recently, you have an audiobook out, but it's really video as well, too, right? Kind of together.
Yeah, I think Trevor may have sent it to you already, but if he hasn't, I'll ask him to.
Uh-huh.
It is the world's first video book, manifestation video book. It is amazing. We spent, like, I wrote the book over a period of a year and a half, the actual book. And then we created these amazing visuals because you want to visualize things. That really helps you to manifest. And you've got you've got my speaking, and then you've got the, you can read while you're watching the video, you can read what I'm speaking. And
Right.
then at the end, we've got amazing positive music videos with all these amazing, pictures of money and healing and
Right.
and
Depends on what your goal is,
yeah. So each chapter is a different topic, and each video is just so amazingly done by Holly Fuller. And Trevor Rogers, Holly Fuller, John and Dara, and myself put so much time and effort. And I didn't know that no one had done anything like this before.
Right.
And a few friends of mine that are best-selling authors have said to me, this is the way people are going to read books from now on, because they can see the visuals. They can
Is definitely audiobooks are growing, and then adding the video aspect to it is really good too. And you're definitely going to need a device. And as I'm talking to you, I see behind you have the Magnet to Money app. And so is that where they can watch and listen to that book as well? Or
No, the Magnet to Money app has hundreds of dollars worth of my best-selling music, affirmations, morning meditations, a sleep process where you get to sleep and hear me talking to you about prosperity, and you go into a deep, deep sleep if you haven't been able to sleep. It's got the Magnet to Money song, which is the affirmation song that is my most popular, has millions upon millions of people have downloaded that. So the Magnet to Money app is very, very popular globally, but that's its own app. But the video book has also an app. So for those people who want to just be able to get, like me, I'm old school. Even though I've got apps, I prefer to download the videos after it's only $29.95 to get the video book, the hours of amazing information, and you watch it. You don't even know. People just are raving already. We've only just launched it. You get the ebook plus the audio version if you prefer also to have that for the car to listen to.
right.
So we've got all of that, manifestationvideobook.com, or you can just go to magnet2success.com, which has all our products. And it's just, I just love it so much. But people also who prefer to watch video on an app because they're younger and they've always got their phones with them. I don't, so we just launched the manifestation video app too, only for iPhones, because you just get a better quality thing. And I don't know why we don't go the other way as well, but we have attempted over the years to develop it for Android phones, but it's just not very easy at all. So, but
Right.
iPhones, Apple, the company Apple are just brilliant, the way they've organized it all. So that's just from the one company. But with smartphones and Androids, it's tons of different companies. So they're all technically different, don't always technically work.
Makes it very difficult for the
Yeah. So if you just want to watch the video book on an app, you just go to Manifestation Video Book in the Apple store, or you can get like I like to watch it on a big screen. So then you just get to, after you've bought it, you just get to download it, watch it like you would at an Amazon movie, which is much, much better, I think.
on Roku. I'm assuming you could do it on Roku, right? Because Roku's real popular here. Roku is what I use to watch stuff on our TV. I stream stuff differently. I'm sure it's on Roku, or you could get it.
Well, you can't buy it through Roku.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You can buy it. That's what I'm saying. You could, that way you some people want to do it on their phone or their computer. It just depends on how you want to get your information.
No, you just go to our website and you purchase it, then you download it onto your laptop. But no, Roku, it might be streaming on Prime soon, but we've just launched it. So,
well, I know there's just so many ways you can. So at least you're embracing that this change is happening and how people are intaking content, and I think I've done some chapters of videos of me reading something, but I'm not singing, but I've done that before on another book. And I don't know, I don't have it on an app, but that's a great idea to help with what you're trying to get out there. Your message is to have your specific app to your information, and you can reach other people. And so how you mentioned you're all over, I think I heard it right, over 29 different countries, right? How do you find those people? I'm just curious.
Well, I've got a lot of best-selling albums and books globally.
Okay.
And I've toured in over 26 countries, teaching seminars, singing. So I've sort of
helping you. Yeah.
In my area, I'm sort of well known in certain countries and certain things. And so I've put on, over the years, I've done so much marketing, and I've given away things. I'm going to give away things today for free. When I give away something that's valuable. That's not just valuable in how much it would cost if you had to buy it, but valuable in how it's going to change and transform your consciousness, because it's all about having this beautiful, clear diamond, your infinite higher self, without all the drudgery of pain and past hurts, cleaning that up. Then you start being able to intuit things and see things more brightly, colors, everything, because all of those things that were holding you back, it was because that infinite higher self, using it metaphorically, of course, is clouding your diamond, your light. And so all of these different tools, the affirmations, the visualization, the music, the video book, I mean, so in love with that, is helping clear away your diamond. And all you've got to do is watch it like you do any movie.
Right.
And then you just, because I like reading the words as well, Bridget. So that's why it's nice that you've got the subtitles of what I'm saying at the same time as you're watching the movie and listening to the music. And it's brilliantly done. And I just thank my team for their patience, because I'm so fussy. I want everything to be perfect.
But you're making an impact. I think and you're using the technology that we have, which is very helpful, I think. And I think subtitles are important too. I've noticed, or like I've read other places, the way things are streamed sometimes. I have a hearing issue, so it helps to have the subtitles, so you can grasp, and it makes more connection with your brain, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, all our videos we've done over the years, we keep adding the subtitles to all of them, because I've got so many thousands of them. I mean, I've done over 2,000 interviews. And
wow.
Just in the last few years. And so we've got so much content, and we've got a lot of it free on YouTube. People can watch any of it on any topic you can imagine, even how to write a book in 3 days or less. because I learned the hard way, and I couldn't even type back then when I first wrote my first book.
Sorry, that was funny. I just love your energy, and you're an example of you went through something very, very traumatic, but you got yourself through it. You love music. It helps you heal. And now you're using that energy to help other people heal. And then they can choose how they want to, what is it word? Take in the content, right?
Yeah, because I think to absorb the content, you need to
Yes.
be entertained.
Yes.
And my content is very entertaining. Like when people come to my events, they go, oh my God, it feels like it was just 2 hours. And we've been here for 8 hours. What?
So what kind of events, you mentioned the events a couple of times. What are the most common events you go to, or that you're part of? Just
Well,
curious.
I'm not part of other people's events anymore. I just put
Oh,
on my own.
I gotcha.
I used to be part of, people would hire me from all over the world. I
Gotcha.
mean, Nestle, Motorola, different people that were putting on big events would ask me to come and speak and sing. But now I just put on my own because we like to have our own party. So,
I like
I
that idea.
yeah, so I do a lot since the lockdown. I do a lot of Zoom events, and people love them. I've got a huge setup, a big screen. I can watch all hundreds of people interact with them. They can interact with each other. And so I'm going to start next year doing the live events again. But I just wanted to, I just guess I love being able to stay at home and just do all the Zoom events from here.
And Zoom became so popular. I used Zoom before COVID, but I wasn't like on my podcast. I wasn't sharing videos until COVID happened because we wanted to see faces, the people that are talking. And that's why I started sharing clips and things like that, because we're connecting. I'm connecting to you because it's like we're talking to each other in person.
Yeah.
And you pick up on cues, on facial expressions even, right? And your music, by the way, I did listen to a couple, I think two of the chapters, and it's very, very nice and helpful. And I love, again, the energy. And for those that are listening, she is going to offer a thing called can you say it again? I know it's micheleblood.com/real things living.
Yeah.
It's going to be,
Sorry.
that's okay. And can you explain a little bit more what you're offering people?
Yeah, it's free. Number one.
Right.
It's Michele with one L. Michele Blood. Blame my daddy. It's an Irish name. Michele Blood, micheleblood.com/real things living. Come and see the real things.
Yes.
Anyway, so you're going to get, by myself and Bob Proctor, we've just launched our audiobook version, but we've done an ebook for it for New Paradigms. And when you read this, and we've added a few extra chapters, the late and great Bob Proctor. Love you, Bob. So New Paradigms ebook, create miracles to harmonize your life songs, affirmation songs. That's my latest album. That's for free. And a video chapter that I love from the manifestation video book, which is 6 steps to achieving your goals in big vision. So we break it down and we give you all the big visuals. So it's very, very simple, because I'm a simple person. I believe in kiss, keep it simple and spiritual.
Right.
Because when people say, oh, this is really deep, you're going to have to really pay thousands of dollars to learn this secret, I'm like, BS, just give it to them simply. When people are trying to sell you something and make it complicated and you've got to be special to be able to get this, I say run for the hills.
Right.
Run away as fast as you can. Anyway, they get all that from the micheleblood.com. Real things living.
Well, thank you. And by the way, my sister's name is Michele with one L as well, because my mother has a French background, and so they spell it. I don't know where the 2 L's came from, maybe in the US, but I really love your energy, and I love what you're offering for people watching and listening today. And the links will be included in the description, guys. And Michele's energy is very transformational, by the way. It is. It's very positive, and I think that's what we need. You can do it. You can get through anything. She's a great example of believing in it and telling herself that she can. And then she did it through music. And I appreciate, again, your time, Michele.
Thank you, Bridget. Thank you so much. And congratulations on your wonderful, positive podcast. You're really, really lifting up the world.
Thank you so much again, guys.